Now let's go ahead and place our model onto our site that we brought in from AutoCAD. And we already know that we originally spaced it 400 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and move it back 400 feet over here. But before I do that, let's go ahead and let's select everything here. And I'm going to make this into one group. And now I'm going to use my move tool and move this along the red axis 400 feet. And that is where I want it on my site, but not at that elevation. So I'm just going to drag this on my blue axis. And there we see how our plan or our model is sitting on our site. And let's go ahead and just place that right there. And you kind of eyeball it. If you're working with a site plan and you actually know the contours and at what elevation you want your plan, you can kind of still look at your contours here and judge by that. Or if you don't know, I mean, it's a great way to look at your plan, looking at the actual site terrain and seeing where it might actually work best to place your site. So there's another way we can do this, and I'm going to show you that as well. Let's go ahead and move this up for now. I'm just going to move it up 100 feet. And we're going to use the stamp tool. And to do that, I'm going to grab just my slab. And let's go ahead and make a copy of this down. And for this, I just want to use this surface. So I'm going to get rid of my pool for now. And let's go ahead and I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I just want one big slab here. And I'm going to go ahead and double click this. And let's go ahead and cut and paste this. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to delete all that. I just want one surface. And now I want to place this surface in the same group as my terrain here. So now that I'm in that group, I'm just going to hit edit, paste in place. And now these are in the same group. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my stamp tool. Going to just click on that. And now you see there's a little red offset on the surface that I had selected. And here we can adjust that offset. And it's asking us for the mesh that we want to stamp this surface onto. And I'm going to click over here. Just give it a second. And there you see what that offset does. It just kind of spreads out the surface where it's connecting to the site, and we can kind of push and pull that up or down. And I'm just gonna just move this slightly up, and there we have a little bit of transition between our slab and our terrain. So we can change that offset to spread it out more, and it will just kind of smoothen it out depending on what it is you're trying to do with your site and your model. So I'm going to undo this for now, and I'm just going to place my model back down where I had it at 100 feet. And let's go ahead and place our driveway back on, which I believe that was on our, let's go ahead and close that. Now let's create surfaces from our site plan that we brought in from AutoCAD. Let's go to layers and let's turn on site. And here we see it over here. I'm gonna just drag it from one of these endpoints here on a driveway, and I'm gonna line it up here. And I'm gonna turn off my terrain for now while I model this. And I'm going to make this S-Lot layer my active layer. And let's go ahead and create surfaces from this CAD plan. And I'm just trying to get my endpoints. This will be my street. This is going to be the sidewalk. And these will be pavers just going up to the front porch. And we'll do a little bit of cleaning up here in a minute. All right, almost done. This will be a little planter over here in the front. Okay, let's go ahead and cut out a couple more surfaces here. And let me shut off the site layer and make sure I didn't miss anything. And yep, I missed a couple steps here. And I missed my arcs. So let's create some arcs over here. And I'm just going to drag the arc, and I'm going to refer to this arc from CAD and just click there. And again, remember, I could change the segments if I feel like it's too choppy and I want it more smooth, but it seems like it's fine for this. And let's go ahead and clean it up a little bit. I'm going to turn off my site layer. And let's do some cleaning up here. Use my eraser tool. Okay. I'm just hitting undo when I erase too much. Okay, just grab some of these surfaces and make them all the same color here. Just right click, reverse faces. And there we go. We have our site layers here. Let's go ahead and make this into its own group. I'm gonna click them, double click them all. Oops. Well, sometimes you gotta do it a couple times. That's why sometimes it's a little bit better to make your group first before you do this. Kind of working backwards here. Make group. There we go. Okay. Now well, actually, before I turn on my site layer, I'm going to go ahead, and I do want a couple steps here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and drag this down 6 inches. And I'm going to match that and come down again 6 inches. And I think I'm okay with 2 steps. I don't think I want to do 3 like I had drawn in AutoCAD. So I'm going to clean this up just a bit. And let's eraser tool. And let's go ahead and drag this down 3 feet. And let's come back up 20 inches for a little planter right next to our door. I'm just going to drag this down. And actually, I'll leave this here. And actually, let's go up just 2 inches with this. And let's clean this face up here for the surface. And as you can see, our driveway is now lower than our garage door. So I'm just going to drag my garage door lower. And let's see, let's go around, look at the bottom of this and drag the bottom of our slab down a little bit more. And let's see if I match that. And let's match it with that distance there. And here we have some things on different layers or different groups. So I'm going to erase that. And I need to drag my wall down. Now I don't want to change my header height because I want them lining up. So I'm just going to make my garage door a little bit larger by stretching it down using the scale tool. And just grab that middle grip point. We know there's always 3 grip points, so if you just grab the middle one and drag down, and there we go. And I'm gonna have to do the same thing here to this garage. Let's drag our slab down a little bit. And let me hide this for a second here. I'm going to double click on this garage door and hit hide. And we have a couple layers overlapping from the walls and the slab, so I'm going to delete that. So select the slab. And before I do that, I'm going to offset a little bit. I'm going to offset the exterior. And let's cut the surface there, and I'm going to drop this down and drop our floor down there. Okay, and I did that offset so I wouldn't lose this edge, the exterior edge there. I just want to drop this front face of it. And let's go ahead and turn my garage door back on. And let's go ahead and again use our stretch tool to stretch this to match. And just grab that bottom point there, and there we go. So now our garage is on the same level. Okay, now let's turn on our terrain, or unhide our terrain. And there we see that our terrain is still a little high, so I'm just going to drag my terrain down just a little bit. I'm just going to eyeball it to where it's just barely below our driveway. And let's drag this driveway down. Let's go 2 feet. And I think that's enough there. And let's drag these down. Let's just match that. And I'm gonna push these down to match or get close to my actual site grade. And this one as well. Match our sidewalk. And then I'm just going to create a line here and angle my garage. I'm going to slope it up a little bit. Okay, let's erase that. And reverse these faces. And now let's push and pull our pavers over here. Just want them just a little bit above my terrain. And there we are, almost done. Use our eraser tool and clean that up. Now let's do one more thing just to add a little effect to these steps. Let's make these steps look like they're floating. And how I'm going to do that is let's grab a couple lines here, and I'll grab these as well. And let's drag this down 4 inches. And if I don't hit Control, it'll try to drag down the actual line, but I actually want to copy a line, so I hit Control and I just move along this blue axis, and I'm going to type 4 inches. And then now I'm going to push this in 2 inches. And let's clean up some of these lines we made. And there we go. We have our floating steps. And we will add materials to that in a minute. But first, let's go back to our pool area and let's model our pool.